Seeing as I predicted the Dark Goblin evolution, I'll share some more evolution ideas. I made a few drawings, but for some of these I'll simply just talk about them. Starting out with the Skeleton Army. Now, I realized that they already announced the Skeleton Army evolution, and it turns out I didn't predict it. Which may be a good thing if I upload the video at this time, because it wouldn't be very credible if I said I predicted the Skarmy evolution as soon as it was released. With that, I can say this type of skeleton could be used for the Graveyard evolution. Here's the Skarmy evolution I made before they announced the Skarmy evolution. Now, I used to and still do really like the idea of making evolutions that involve certain troops that have the evolved version of that troop as part of their evolution. For example, I thought the evolved witch should have been a normal witch that spawns evolved skeletons. But I think an evolved skeleton army where every skeleton is just an evolved skeleton would be pretty boring, because A, it's just a bunch of skeletons, so the evolution wouldn't really add anything new to the game, and B, the whole concept of evolved skeletons is just that they multiply to create a continuous swarm. The skeleton army being a massive swarm doesn't need to be more of a swarm. That just doesn't seem too interesting. Alright, so how this evolution actually works is that the skeletons attack just like regular skeletons. Their speed is very fast, and their ability is when a troop kills them, they turn into a visible spirit ghost type thing that possesses whatever killed them. The possessed troop will stop attacking for a few seconds. Then, when it can attack, it will attack and the spirit will leave, ending the possession. And the spirit that leaves will take a small percentage of the host's HP, or take a certain amount of health. That's like numbers, not percentage. So this will give them some leverage against splash units, which are obviously a big weakness they have. I added extra speed because I thought if they only had one ability and no stat buffs, then they should be a one cycle evolution, but that would be overpowered because it's a cheap card. Also, I think the fast speed will work great if this is the type of skeleton that would be used in the Graveyard evolution. At first, I had the idea of making them possess troops and turn the troops against their team like a super magic archer. That would be OP. And I had the idea of making the possessions temporary, but then it could allow the possessed troop to survive and return to its team, which would eject the skeleton's army's strength of killing things pretty quickly. Speaking of the super magic archer, I have an evil magic archer idea. The evolved magic archer would shoot arrows, then the arrows would return to the magic archer like the executioner's axe, piercing targets twice. And when the arrow returns to the magic archer, he'd heal any damage he took. Next, here's the Elite Barbarians evolution. It's a 2-cycle evolution, as they do slightly more damage than normal E-Barbs. Their special ability is that every time they take damage, they get a bit faster. So when they're low on health, they're going to be sprinting ridiculously fast. I can see that this could be a fun evolution to play and a difficult evolution to play against, although I don't see it as OP. Also, I had an idea for a Guards evolution. I heard that the Guards are going to be the next evolution. Well, at the beginning of the video I mentioned the Skeleton Army evolution, and then I couldn't find the Guards evolution online anywhere, and it doesn't seem like they're going to be releasing the Guards evolution. But I want to get this idea out before the Guards evolution comes out. I didn't draw a picture for them, but I was thinking that the evil guards could have magnet armbands and magnet shields. This would mean that after a guard loses its shields, then after a few seconds, if they were close enough to the shield would be picked up by the magnet and returned to the guard, simply letting the guard be at perfect form after picking up the shield in most situations. Depending on if it would have stat buffs or not, and how much time it would take to pick up the shield, and how close the guards have to be from the fallen shield to pick it back up, That would determine if this Evo had a 1 or 2 cycle evolution. Alright, this was a pretty short video, but this is where I'm gonna end it from here. I have a lot more evolution ideas, so maybe I'll talk about them in another video. So yeah, thanks for watching.